Okay, here we go with part 4 of the GP2X Wiz review, where we're going to be checking out some of the homebrew on here. Let's load up Battle Jules first. Now, if you've ever played Puzzle Quest, then you'll love Battle Jules. Battle Jules is more or less just like Puzzle Quest. You can collect mana to cast spells that you learn, match up the skulls to attack your enemies. 4 of a kind gets you an extra turn. Really fun little puzzle game. Outside of battle, you can use the gold that you get in the puzzles to equip armor, or I'm sorry, buy armor and weapons and whatnot. And, you know, after you buy them, you can equip them. It's a really fun puzzle game. What else have I got on here? We have AIM, which stands for AIM is Multiplayer. More or less, it is a 2-player touchscreen game, although it does have a 1-player mode and challenge. Really basic game. You hit the target as fast as you can whenever it comes on screen, and as accurate as you can. That's all there is to it. Now, in the multiplayer version, both of you are trying to do this as fast and as accurate as possible, and you can change the background to make it really distracting and whatnot. Just a fun little time killer. Nice to see the touchscreen supported, though. Boomshine. Boomshine's a fun one as well. Some of you guys may have played the web version of this. I've got it set for random shapes. But the goal, you got multiple shapes floating around on screen, and you have to tap and destroy the number of shapes that it says, your required quota. And as you go on, you're required to blow up more, and that's pretty well it. It's a fun little time killer, though. And I've played this game online before, too. Just a, you know, fun little flash game for the most part, and I rather like it. And once again, it's touchscreen supported. So just because you don't use a touchscreen for the emulators does not mean you won't be using it for the homebrew. What else is on here? Grinch. Another touchscreen supported game. You can either use a touchscreen or you can use a control pad, whatever you want. And the idea of this is to more or less just get the color to fill the screen in so many turns. Whatever your object is touching, you change it to that color, and it'll envelop the matching color. Kind of hard to explain, but it's a fun little game. I don't know if you can even see on the screen, but we're just slowly enveloping the screen by changing the color. I will probably fail miserably at this. Or maybe I'll just barely beat it. Back out of that one. Here's a homebrew fighting game that someone made, King of Fighters for the Wiz. King of Fire Flames of Courage is what the guy calls it. I suck at it. I haven't quite figured out the controls of it and everything. But they lifted sprites from the King of Fighters game. But for a homebrew, it is an exceptionally nice looking game. As you can tell, I'm not good at it at all. It's a very nice looking game. Next up we have Ruckman, which is more or less a Pac-Man clone, but with really, really updated graphics. Which apparently is not working right now because of something that broke whenever I installed Doom on here. How embarrassing. That's a shame. I'll have to look into that one later, but that's alright. It's Pac-Man with enhanced graphics. Fun game, you get the idea. Well, let's restart the console and select something else. There's plenty to select from. Such as Super Mario War. Oh, this one's fun. Wait on it to load real quick here. And we are loaded. Go ahead and start up a quick game. I'll set it for 4 players. Change our map. There's tons of maps to select from too. And the object of your game is to squash the other Marios. And there's a certain amount of lives they all have, and they're all fighting. Now, in the question marks, there's item upgrades too. You can get fireballs, boomerangs, hammers, invincibility stars. There's power switchers that switch the positions of all the players. Just tons of stuff, tons of features in this game. It's really fun to play. I've actually spent hours playing this game. And that's just the idea. Just pop on all the other Marios. Kill them off. It is really a fun game. Next we will load up Supertex, which is more or less just like the first Mario Brothers game. But with Tux the Penguin, the Linux mascot, and Antarctica ice worlds in replacement of the Mario motif. It does take a little bit to load. There we go. As you can see, my little penguin has fire power right now. But that's pretty well it. It's more or less a version of Super Mario Brothers. That's a fun little game. So as I'm trying to show you, the little handheld, the GP2X Wiz, it's not all about emulators. There are tons of freeware, shareware, downloadable games on here that you can check out. They're fun as hell to play. Here's a fun little one called Snakes on Dope. It's also touchscreen supported. It's just like, you know, that cheap, crappy Snake game that you've got on your cell phone with some decent music. And an interesting side effect. The more apples your snake eats, the more stoned your snake gets. As your snake gets more stoned, the screen starts to wobble. And of course, the further along your snake gets, the more the screen wobbles. Try to get a little further, that way you can really see the wobble kick in. And yeah, it will mess with you after a while, especially if you've made it really far and the screen gets a really severe wobble. So you can see it really going now. But that's all there is to that one. Then the outside of games, real quick, there's Waint. It's a painting application. I won't load it up, so I'm running out of time for this video, but a really nice one is Qtopia. Qtopia takes a while to load. A very long while to load. But once it loads, as you can see, it turns it into a PDA application. Full touchscreen support again. You've got a calculator, calendar, clock, contacts, help, music support, notes, Opera web browser if you have the gender changer cable and a USB Wi-Fi stick, video support, notes, clocks, plenty of more games. You got Asteroids, 15 Pieces, Mindbreaker, Mindhunt, Parachute, Patience, and Snake. It's really a nice little PDA application. We will restart and back out of it real quick. And that web browser comes in very handy if you've got the USB mount, because it's actually a better web browser than what I have on my cell phone. I'm going to load up one more app real quick. A killer app, if you will, for this thing. emulators was ported on here. Now, I don't have anything to actually show off on here. emulators will let you play a huge variety of audio and video formats. So if you got something on your SD card that you want to play and the actual system don't carry the right format, emulators will. And it's got tons of settings. You can change color depth, overclock the CPU, skin it, all sorts of stuff. emulators to me is a killer app for this thing. But that's it for the homebrew for now. Just some featured homebrew. If there's any other homebrew that you guys want me to check out, once again, post at Play the NES or Game Gavel, or leave a comment in this video. That's it for part 4, and if you guys have any questions or comments or anything, I will be more than happy to make a part 5, or maybe I'll find some other software later on to necessitate making a part 5.